Hello there, this is FairBinaryOptions.com, and we are looking at the Euro Great Britain Pound in, from my point of view, a nice place to buy call options. Now we are not going to buy the call options just like that. We will look for some confirmation, but this looks like a falling wedge. What do you mean by falling wedge might be the question, or the right question. Well, a falling wedge travels between the 1 and 3 and 2 to 4 trend lines, and this one seems to do just like that. This would be our 1 to 3 trend line. This should be the 2 to 4 trend line. Like this. And just like that, this is a falling wedge. So what would be the logical thing to do, or the next step to do? Well, the next step would be to go and buy call options by the time price is breaking this 2 to 4 trend line. But I would say that it should be enough if it goes and breaks these highs, and these highs are 0.8216. So by the time price is going 82.16, I would like to go and buy call options with end of week expiration date, as most likely highs are going to attract from that moment on. Now the thing is that this falling wedge has an interesting structure. I would say this being called the terminal impulsive move, and these terminal impulsive moves are almost always completely retraced. Completely retraced means price should go and retrace the whole wave there, and I would say that our wave, so this should come around here. I would say that our previous wave ends here with these highs. So this to be like this. And like this. And those highs need to be broken. Now if you go and take a look at the distance or the target, well, I'm talking about somewhere like 83.60 area. We are now in the 82 area, so something like 150 pips plus for the Euro Great Britain Pound cross, and this means either a stronger than anticipated Euro US dollar or a lower than anticipated Great Britain Pound US dollar. I would tend to look for the first to come, or a stronger Euro US dollar, based basically both on that gap that we have, and also on the fact that everybody is bearish here, but the move to the downside here is only being made in corrective waves. The overlapping is there, so everything seems to fall into place. So this to be the first wave. And then the second wave here. And then of course the third wave to the downside. Another possibility will be, but this would not change anything as the extension is still there, would be that this is the end of the first wave, and then the second wave goes with A and B and C, with this to be called double failure flat, and then the move to the downside here for 1, 2, 3. The fourth here in the form of a triangle, A, B, C, D, E to end here, so this to be the fourth. Around those levels. And of course the fifth wave there, terminal impulsive move, only corrective waves. What to look for next? Well, I'm looking for price to go and move higher. By the time 0.8216 is going to be broken. So let's write on the screen the strategy or the scenario or the intention that we have here. Looking to buy call options by the time 0.8216 comes, with end of week expiration date. End of week expiration date, trying to avoid the volatility. Not that we miss some volatility, because these markets are staying quite in a, let's say, in a boring area, and in order for this cross to move, either we need some bullish statements or bullish economic releases out of Europe, or something negative for the pound, for the Great Britain pound, US dollar, and that too, or the flows that are going out of the US dollar, or out of the Great Britain pound US dollar, to come and push the cross higher. It remains to be seen if the market is actually going to do that, but this falling wedge is as bullish as it can be. And the fact that we still needed for price to go and make this leg lower, even today, this was the only factor that was pushing the euro US dollar pair to the downside, and especially on the fixings. By the time the London went home, we had quite a sell-off on the euro Great Britain pound, euro US dollar, and the euro related pairs. However, on a break of the 2 to 4 trend line, things are about to change. Thank you very much for being here. This is fairbinaryoptions.com, and all these analysis and recommendations are possible due to the help of our sponsor here, Lion Knife. Bye bye.